perform so many shows here by the time you become like a blood relative here.
Like family. So
Like
which
family.
one of you are the real Doc, son?
You know what?
This could be
Pick a
something
card.
people
No.
would call in about, right? If you sexy people call in, please call in, sexy people. That's it. All right. Hey, it is good to be here at the Villa Roma. We had an awesome show yesterday. People just were laughing out of their seats. There's so many things to do here, and this is another one of the wonderful activities that they have. So this is a sex show. So talk about sex and stuff.
Well, technically,
You said
were
yes
talking
in the
about-
beginning. You said yes.
I was
And now-
waiting for.
Oh my God!
Welcome
it's
to
horrible.
All Point Sports Live.
Oh.
It's a sports show.
Sex is now sports.
Hey, we're guys. That'll go as one and the same, right?
I don't want to hit a home run. My bat's not working anymore. I need to come to this show with a couple of pills. You know?
We're just here to hit singles, right? As long as you get out of the batter's box, that's all you care about here.
Yeah,
we're
well,
off to a
I'm
good-
trying to get in the box. What is it? Oh my God, this is horrible. Okay, go.
Well, we're talking sports here, of course. We got JG the Kid John. You made it a long way here just to perform on the show right now, today, right? You came all the way from South Dakota, correct?
I did. It was about a 22-hour drive for me and the family. We made it to Niagara Falls. We got to visit there and do the sightseeing, and that was amazing. Showed up to Villa Roma on Saturday night, and we've been partying every night. So partying late, sleeping in, and having a great time so far.
And we're barely halfway through the week, so we still got plenty of parties left. Speaking of parties, joining us momentarily, we got DJ Bobby Blackjack. No, he's not broadcasting from a pitch black dungeon that he usually does. He's here at the Villa Roma. There's light. You could actually see his face. Don't know if that's a good thing or not, but
Well, of course it's a good thing.
I'll beg to differ on that. But, of course, we got sports coming at you live here in the dog days of summer. So, I mean, we got to start with baseball, right? Gemini, we know that. What's your sports team? Because we got a Yankee fan here. We got a Braves fan here. I mean, he's living the high life right now. John's repping the Atlanta gear.
I'm gonna knock you all right out of the box. How's my Mets doing? How am I? Is Tom Seaver still doing it?
You wish.
You know?
Oh, my goodness.
I just was curious. Jerry Kuzman and the rest of the boys, you know, they were the Mets. Now, I don't know. How you sit there and you cry. I don't know. Maybe you guys are happy for that the Mets are not good. But the New Yorkers, you ever notice when you look into the crowd, they're all crying. It's horrible. You buy a Met jacket, and all of a sudden they want you to play left field.
So I think we got to start here with the Mets, considering that they're you can't say rival, because you have to win a game against the Braves to be a rival, but they're in your division. We got the Mets here. But, guys, listen, both New York sports teams, as far as baseball, they're kind of trending upwards. Mets got a good win last night. They got a series win over the weekend against the Giants. Giants aren't a team to sneeze at. So right now, the state of the Mets, Gemini, we'll start off with you down on the end. So far, you know, it's been hit the red button, DEFCON 1 scenario for the Mets so far. $365 million hole in the ground, but they're starting to churn a couple wins before the All-Star break. Any sign of life from this team? Is there a pulse, Gemini?
No. No, I wouldn't even watch these games because it's just going to upset you. I think they're getting lucky right now. I don't know what it is. It's horrible that they spent all that money on such awesome talent if you break them down individually. But together as a team, just stupid little things that just, you know, they lose by, you know, either just a hair, one, two runs, which they could have made if you go back in the game and looked at it. So I'm done with that little bit, you know, Yankee talk.
And listen,
now.
As far as the Mets, I'm a 23-year-old. All my friends are very young. They're Mets fans. They think that they don't know what bad is for the Mets. I mean, you're a little bit more seasoned than a lot of my Met fan friends.
69 miracles. They think it's going to happen again. But back then, they were street guys. You know what I mean? These guys are all money guys now. You know, so it's a way different ball game.
They had pride. That's one thing that the Mets now don't have.
It's not a team. That's maybe what it is. It's a bunch of guys that individually look awesome on paper. You put them all together, and it's like, I'm not going to say any more curse words.
I think we can, right? I mean, if Bobby's face just goes bright red, maybe we know to dial it back a bit, but so far we're okay. I don't think we've hit. Listen, we've had some pretty blue comedians as guests on the show. I don't think you're gonna top that as far as some of the curse words and the swearing we've heard before here.
Don't make me run and get one of my puppets. Please,
goodness.
God, I'll beat that guy out.
And speaking of puppets, I mean, let's face it. Between Buck Showalter and then you have, lifeless puppets talking out of their ass. It's basically one and the same, right?
Say that again slowly for all the Met fans out there. Could you say it slow? Because the Met fans are a little slower than everybody else.
That's right. I got to make sure I talk slow for the Met fans.
There you go. So say it again so we all get it.
So Buck Showalter.
Buck Showalter.
Gemini, what do you do for a living and why are you here at the Villa Roma?
I am a ventriloquist, so maybe people didn't know that. And I have puppets that are awesome puppets. They're sometimes $5,000-$6,000 for but their heads, their faces make expressions, so they come alive, and it's done all in laughter and fun. But now we're with Buck right now. So go ahead. What does Gemini and Buck have in common?
So the similarity between Gemini and Buck is that both of them have a hand up their rear end and they talk out their ass. I mean...
Oh, my God. No, see, I'm the only one that can do it without moving his lips.
That's right. Ready? Here, I'll trash the Mets. You tell me what to say.
No. I got to put my hand up your ass.
I don't get paid enough on this show for that.
Here's a couple of bucks.
Bobby keeps all the royalties and the sponsors.
What do they say out there by you? Go.
South Dakota, even worse.
Yeah,
Oh, my goodness.
all
But John,
the way in South
your thoughts on the
Dakota.
Mets so far? Scraping together a couple wins, looking like almost a respectable baseball team, right?
Yeah, they're turning around. They got a series win, but they're way down in the standings as of now.
18 games.
18 games back behind my Atlanta Braves, and I don't know. It might when they got the largest payroll in baseball, and after last year with competing, having a great team, and then you add to that, and then they're struggling. It is definitely hard for Mets fans right now with all the money they spent and not doing anything with it so far. So.
And when it rains, it pours. I mean, the Mets got a couple wins, and then your Braves finally lost a game,
Yes.
right?
Yes, we lost last night in extra innings in the 10th. Got doubled, lined out to center, thrown out at home. They come up to bat in the 10th and get the runner from second in.
The Manfred Man, as we call it.
Yes, the Manfred rule. So
So the Braves.
What is the Manfred rule?
So the Manfred rule is where a runner starts on second in extra innings.
He just starts on second.
Yes.
Starts on
He
second.
doesn't earn his way there, nothing. He just already gets to second base once you go to extra innings.
When did this rule start?
That was part of the COVID precaution when they wanted to. I don't know if it was because they didn't want people being together in the dugouts for long periods of time or whatever it was. So to speed up the game, they put
So
them in
they
on second
started
and 10th.
sticking people on base already. That's amazing. This COVID thing what drove people's minds crazy. So all of a sudden, you mean to tell me in the 10th inning, this hump Manfred is on second?
Yes.
Oh my God! Do you guys get a guy on?
Both teams do start with a guy on second.
Okay,
And,
but you didn't get a chance to put your guy on second because they already got him in,
Well,
They play from behind already.
yeah.
and they still
score.
did it. That's horrible. This man, who's Manfred?
He's the
Commissioner.
commissioner of baseball.
It's no longer Bud Selig. Come on, you got to get with the times.
I'd rather put a butt on third. That's what I want to do. Where's Bud when you need him? You know what I mean?
Oh, goodness.
And
but
then
yeah.
the crazy twist to that is when it's postseason play, there is no runner on second. So how does this make sense?
What other rule that came from the COVID that maybe I wouldn't know? They're still mad at his Mets for
They
years.
got rid of one, right?
Yeah, they had it where if you had a double header in the same day, it was only 7 innings instead of 9 innings.
No kidding.
Yes.
No shit. Oh my God. Okay, but that was a doubleheader only.
Right.
7 and that's a pretty good rule, but I like that one. No.
Okay.
All right. No, you didn't like that.
No.
No. Okay. Why? Because your team would win in them last 2 innings. Is that what it is?
Yeah, I'm hoping they would.
Okay. All right. Well, do you have cash on any of these games?
Oh.
It's allowed now.
Oh,
yeah.
It's
Doc was
allowed
here.
now.
If Doc was here, oh my goodness,
Yeah.
he would. Doc. Here's the thing about Doc. Doc knows a whole lot of sports. He's a sports encyclopedia, but would you call it blind luck sometimes? because he'll just throw out a random 5 or 6 leg parlay, which has no chance of sticking, and he'll hit for like $700 or $800. He doesn't just hit for, if I place down 5 and hope to get 100. He drops. He puts nothing down. He either gets free money or a small bet, but he makes parlays, little 5, 6, 7 legs. Every other day, he's putting something down and he wins.
What was the last one he did?
What was it? Well, the last big one that we had on the show, he had the Athletics were one of the worst team in baseball by a while. An Athletic win, a Yankee win, and then like 3 individual players that hit a home run. And I think that got him $800 or $900.
$900.
And he just knew that.
Yeah, just like that. Yeah, Doc has probably a win percentage of like the Braves right now. I think so, with gambling. 'Cause let's face it, with me, I'm just throwing my money away.
Did everybody hear that?
Mm-hmm. Usually a lot of people have a winning percentage in gambling like the Mets, not the Braves. But, however, we move forward. So, Bob, you still going to hide behind that camera, or are you going to come back here and hang out? Or you know that I'm on kind of a tear right now, and I don't want to...
Exactly.
Yeah, all right.
You're fine.
There we go.
When you have to go, I'll jump in.
Perfect. We got Bobby Blackjack, producer extraordinaire. Do we have the logo for our sponsor, Bobby, or are we still freeballing this?
Week, so we'll have it next week when we can mention who he is.
Yeah, we got a sponsor for this show, right? This isn't just any rinky-dink show.
Please don't tell me it's the guy that puts everybody on second base. Please don't tell me this is America.
This show is brought to you by the amazing ventriloquist Jeff
Wait,
Dunham. No, Gemini, I'm sorry.
I want to be on right. I want to be on the right, not left. Please don't say that. Oh, my God, it's the man on wheels. Everybody.
Great
Doc,
show last night.
it was a good show. It was
Fireworks.
Nice show. So and here is Doc Holliday on wheels and a sexy outfit. And look at him. And number one, he's dressed as which baseball player? Holiday baseball player. Okay, you don't have people like that where are you, South Dakota? All right. Do you ever see a man rolling by on wheels? No.
You see Buffalo.
I see Buffalo walking by. Yeah. Not the hoverboard.
Not the Bills, by the way. Not the Bills.
Oh, Buffalo.
Yeah, technology's
real
got to kind of
Buffaloes.
immigrate towards South Dakota. We're still waiting to get the car phone out of there.
So you see buffaloes on wheels going by in South Dakota.
Well, not on wheels, but when you're driving by, you see buffaloes.
All right, they don't drive in that section no more. What's your problem? It's good that you're here. So they tell me that you know good parlays. Yeah.
Caesar Sportsbook is trying everything to get Doc out of their systems.
They're trying to
Cleaning up.
ban me from betting.
You are lying. Get out of here.
All right, we're all standing up.
They've been very good to me, the Caesars.
Okay. All right. They've been good to him this season.
Get back to the show. I got to get some duck racing in.
That's
Go
right.
Yankees, baby.
We're talking about betting, so it's only appropriate we go into duck racing bets. Doc, what's the spread for the Ducks today?
There's quite a few ducks in the bucket, so
So not good odds.
I would say it's going to be a big duck race, maybe 4 or 5 races today.
Big money games.
Maybe you'll get more people if you change the D to F races and see how many people come down over there. All right, sorry.
There you go.
Okay. I'm very curious of South Dakota duck races. Or buffalo races. You have buffalo races?
They actually do.
Oh my God.
In the month of October, they round them all up and they send them through, and it's a huge buffalo race. And then
Do you bet on them?
I'm not sure if you can bet on them, but it does happen every October.
Is there one buffalo that's the big champion?
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh, so you never saw it?
No, I never seen it. I've
I
always.
don't know if it's real.
It's definitely real.
How do you know if you didn't see
It's always on the news. It's a big thing. People travel.
Fake news. Nobody's got buffalo racing. It's just the paper do you for? What paper is this? Like the highly alien paper?
The highly read South Dakota Inquirer.
Yes.
Okay, do you have pig races?
I'm not sure if there's pig
Do
races.
you cow tip?
People do cow tipping. Yeah, people do cow
Can do that
tipping.
here too.
Brooklyn cow tipping is I don't know, pushing a fat chick off a bar stool. You understand? And then you gotta run because they chase you. Let me.
You're like Blanca, though. They chase you on all fours. You can get a head start. You're okay. Yeah, you'll be fine. If you have anything, you have like saltines in your pocket. You throw it one way and go the other.
You know, I had a friend, and he was a big baseball fan, just to keep it on the thing. And he would drive a van, but he would drink too much of those Budweisers. And what would happen was he would see larger women thin in his mind. And so what he did was he would get in a lot of trouble with picking up these huge women. So he built this thing in the back of his van, like a dog thing, like with only a circle. So if the woman couldn't get into the van through the back, through this wooden thing he built, he knew not to take her home. You understand his logic? It was smart. So I see him 2 weeks later, and I go, "How's that thing going for you with the big wooden thing that you built? Like looks like a dog house, like a dog." He goes, "I don't know, it's not that good." I go, "Let me see." I open up the van, and the whole thing is splintered, like as if he took a girl and just just pushed her in
How's
there.
it working out for you? Well, I had to get a whole new back suspension.
Right. But his team won. Okay.
All right, so still talking about the Mets here. Going from,
All right, speaking of Willy Wonka,
yeah,
he was here last night.
Who is that?
There was somebody walking around last night as Willy Wonka.
We got to get
The most
him.
bizarre thing I've ever seen here in Villa Roma.
We got to get him on the sports show.
I definitely missed the Willy Wonka.
All right.
He was handing out candy bars.
Wow.
The freakiest thing I've ever seen in Villa Roma, I think.
What's that mean, Willy Wonka?
The movie.
From the-
Remember
from
Willy
the-
Wonka?
Yeah,
Chocolate
but how did you? Oh, you saw a person
He
that
was dressed
looked.
up, not as Uncle Sam, because it's July 4th. He was dressed up as Willy Wonka.
Oh my God! Did you ask him for chocolate?
You asked him the headline the
Wait
show
a minute!
yesterday.
Really? That is awesome. That is awesome.
It's bizarre. It's like he's walking around the bar and I don't know.
You should have took a picture with him.
I know.
All right, I'm just sorry. Don't take pictures.
No, right now it's an aberration. No, he was walking around as Willy Wonka. It was the most bizarre thing I've ever seen.
One time I worked at a comedy thing in Washington, and I go from spot to spot, so I don't really know the areas when I go there, to visit the comedy club or the casino. But so I went upstairs all the way up to the room with another person that was with me from the comedy, and we went and smoked a bone. Is this in this state? Is that allowed? Marijuana smoking. Okay, so.
Marijuana, yeah.
Right?
I mean,
Nothing
they
else.
legislated it.
Nothing else. But we went up to smoke, and the pot happened to be very good. So now we're coming down to the club in the elevator, and the elevator stops on the 3rd floor, and Klingons came in the elevator, real, fully dressed, all together Klingons. But they were Met fans, so everything was all right then. You understand? So if the Klingons attack, they're Met fans.
All right. So, John's hand probably has to be dead asleep right now from holding the microphone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass this one over. Gemini, you got your own personal microphone to hold and to cherish. I got to run because I got Ducks with Doc. Are you a basketball fan?
Oh no. Well, Knicks or Nets? Which one?
You said you're from Brooklyn?
Brooklyn. Well, but now I
Now
changed.
they're
I have to
Brooklyn
be right. I have to be Brooklyn Nets.
You were Brooklyn early on. You have to be a Knicks fan.
Knicks fan all the way.
I was gonna say
all the way from day one. But I never was into the. I'm sorry, all the fans out there. I'm not really good with the. I lost a lot of money when I was a kid betting on this stuff.
That's the time you want to lose it.
Well, why would you say that? There's no time that you want to lose money. I would never invest in with anything you say on that. Oh, I'm sorry. You're 72 years old. It's a good time to lose money. You know what I mean?
Sell a couple of those puppets. You can get a pretty penny, right? You said 5,000 or 6,000.
Sell those puppets. Look at you. I think you have a duck race to go to. It's unbelievable. You are unbelievable. Sell the puppet. Please, fans.
You could be a sports radio host by how this show's going. You're doing pretty good.
Thank you. But I'm so interested in the South Dakota sports world.
We're talking about South Dakota right now. I got to run out. You're the man.
Hey, it's been good, baby.
You're the best. Gemini, we got to get him on the show weekly. He's the best. We got a lot of
No, I bring
very boring guests sometimes. To all of our guests listening, I'm not talking about you. He's the man right here. He's entertaining. All right.
Bring a puppet next time, a real one.
Godspeed.
Okay, so here we are live on on a
still
sports
live.
station where I never ever. Oh, and Bobby's coming here. Move over. Get closer to me. You allowed to be closer to people in South Dakota?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, all right. I won't sit on your lap because then it would look a little like a ventriloquist puppet
So,
here.
Gemini, real quick, we're gonna do a quick geography lesson, and John knows where I'm gonna lead with this. All right, so John, you take it off. Take it. You know I'm getting at.
Okay.
We'll start one of our running jokes here on All Point Sports.
Can't believe you're not in South Dakota. He's just back from the Buffalo race.
So, you know where Miami is, right? Mm-hmm. Gemini, I'm asking Gemini. You know where Miami is, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay. So, John, do you know who the Miami basketball team is? You remember offhand?
No.
Miami Heat.
Okay.
Okay. So they have what they call every team in the NBA has a G League team.
A what?
G League. It's like their minor league team, like their
Oh, okay.
pro-
The minor league team. Okay, all right. I thought it was another thing since the COVID.
like Brooklyn,
Another rule.
Brooklyn Nets have their team in Long Island.
Right.
The New York Knicks have their team in Westchester Knicks.
Okay.
Okay. One of the running jokes we have here on All Point Sports is that John lives right by the Miami Heat affiliate
Oh.
in South Dakota.
So the Miami Heat affiliate is the Sioux Falls Skyforce.
What is it? Wait, say it one more time for people in Brooklyn.
The Sioux Falls Skyforce, which is located in South Dakota, and they're the affiliate for the Miami Heat.
So do you go to those games, or are you too busy at the Buffalo run?
I have been to them games, and it's pretty awesome. It's just crazy that
Yeah, we laughed at the fact that
everybody's close by, but the Heat are Miami, Florida, and their affiliates all the way in South Dakota.
Yeah, but you don't have a team.
We
South
don't.
Dakota.
We don't.
So then yeah, it's good that they do that for
It
you.
is. It
You know
is.
what I mean? It gives you first, especially seeing the young guys coming up, and then you see them go
Right.
pro,
Right.
and you make friends with them, and
Yeah.
sometimes
I
okay, now
agree.
it's pretty good, I would say.
Oh, we laughed at the fact that the distance, because even with baseball, the Mets affiliate, I believe, or AAA is what, Syracuse, right? Mm-hmm. No, it's not that far. So if a guy needed to pitch that day, he can get there in time.
Oh, I didn't think of that part.
So if somebody
Okay.
in Miami gets hurt and need one of their top
Right.
G League players, that's a day trip. He's
Right.
not making a game for like at
Oh
least 2
my
days.
God! They up. Okay, so the South Dakota thing's not the smartest thing, basketball wise.
Good for the local economy.
But
right?
it's good for the
Yeah.
local. I would go more with the local. I would go more. If the guy got hurt, they always got somebody that could do. It's basketball. Those guys all can play each one of their different positions. So I'm not going to go with you there on that, Bobby. I'd rather keep the team in South Dakota. Go South Dakota. It's South Dakota and you. That's what it's about. Come see the Buffalo races.
Yes.
So let's get back to a little baseball. So how long you been a Met fan for?
Since they started back, 63, 60, right? They won in 69,
So I actually have my mom's cousin.
65.
My mom's cousin pitched for the Mets in the late 70s.
Okay,
Pete Falcone.
okay.
Sound familiar?
They all do. They all do. But, we also smoked pot back in those days. And sometimes, do you remember those little orange? I was at the game when Bud Harrelson got in the fist fight at second base with,
Is it Pete Rose?
yes.
Pete Rose, right?
Yeah. Good, Bobby. Good memory.
I remember that. That's one of
The classics.
I don't have Doc's memory of sports, I don't think, but I have a lot of.
Fist fights on the game. You remember those? Yep, I was there, and it was so wild because the whole audience didn't get to see it. They didn't show it on the replay right away, so nobody knew what was really going on. Because the guy was calling him out. Was it out? Safe? All of a sudden, everybody just ran over, and they were fighting.
Good old days.
I know. Now that they stick the guy on second base without anybody just starting that 10th inning. I can't believe that rule.
Yeah.
I can't. What, just to make it go quicker?
It is. It's try to make it where they're not using as many relief pitchers and the game going to the 18th inning, so they just put the runner on second to try to get it over quicker. But if you're going to have that rule, then do it in the regular season and the postseason. Why get to the postseason and you're back to earning your way on base? It should be one or the other.
Okay.
So,
All right.
Or at least be on first base.
something.
So there's some strategy of butting the guy over.
Right.
All right, then you have one out. Then you have 2 outs to get a single or something, a double to get the guy in. It's too easy now.
Yes.
Right, but if the guy's on first, and the next guy, he could hit into a double play, and I would blow that whole theory.
Well, that's what happened to us last night. We had the runner on second, hit the ball to right field, so he tagged to third. Now you have 1 out. Next guy comes up, he hits a line drive to center. Guy catches it, we tag from third, and he gets thrown out from home. So we got no runs in. Cleveland comes
horrible.
up. First guy gets a single, and they win the game 6-5.
How horrible. That guy who couldn't run fast enough.
Right.
What was his name?
Sam Hilliard. And what I'm thinking is this is like the 3rd time he's been thrown out at home in these scenarios. Like, let's get somebody that's faster.
Wait, but can't you put a pitch runner in?
You can, and he was the pinch runner.
Oh, my
so
God,
it makes
this
it
is-
even worse. It's his 3rd time he's been thrown out at home
So
in this
producer.
scenario.
So producer. Well, actually, I'm the producer, but someone's got to check the waiver wire today. I think the guy might be sent down to AAA.
Unbelievable.
3 times.
3 times he's been thrown out at home in extra innings.
Oh, boy.
And not
he's
by
a
the same
pitch runner.
guy.
No.
Not by the same. So
guy.
3 different
Yeah,
guys.
3 different teams threw him out
No,
at
he's
home.
not a good runner.
And guys, I would even go as far as the NFL has that thing in overtime where if a team scores a field goal, the other team gets the ball back, right? But if they score a touchdown, it's over. That's kind of okay. So if you're going to do this man on second base and you score, say, 1 run, I think the other team should get a chance to at least match that. Right? Is that wrong?
Well, even in football, they went with the same way. Like, if you kick the field goal, then we have a chance to score. If
Yeah.
you score a touchdown, it's over.
over.
But if you get to the playoffs,
Oh, now it's
if you
yeah,
score a
because-
touchdown, it's like, okay, we get a chance to score a touchdown.
of that whole-
Like, let's do it across the board, regular season and postseason.
That's because of the Bills versus the Chiefs a couple
Yes.
years ago. When, 7 seconds left, they found a way to get down, wherever it was, to get there.
Right.
Found a way to win the game.
It's like, just do it across the board, you know?
You guys remember a lot of good things. That's awesome. You know?
All right, I'll tell you what, Gemini. Let's flip the script a little bit here on the show. You give us a topic that you like, and we'll talk about it.
A topic that I like.
Anything. Sports, entertainment, TV, movies.
How about comedy?
Comedy, of course.
Okay, in South Dakota, who is the big comedian in South Dakota?
Well, in South Dakota, I'm not sure if there is one huge comedian, but everybody travels through and they stop. The 2 biggest cities is Rapid City and Sioux Falls. So concerts, comedians, entertainment, they always stop at either location and make sure to hit those spots on their tour.
Have you seen any? What was your last comedian you saw outside the place here, Bobby? See, that's what it is. I run comedy clubs, and I always
Andrew Dice Clay, a couple years ago. Down in Mount Airy.
good show.
Good show.
Good show. Yup, he's changed a lot from those.
That TV show he had wasn't too bad either. Did you watch that? That wasn't too bad, that TV show, right? Because he was a normal guy.
Right. But yep, he's at a Pips Comedy Club in Sheepshead Bay, same place I started at. His bunch of Pips was the local comedy club in Brooklyn, and he started. And when he did his HBO special, he got all his lines. You're not gonna believe this, but from a ventriloquist. All those lines, hickory dickory dock, ba 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 cock, was coming from the puppet back.
Wow.
Do you understand? And he just did them all, and then he made the audience do the puppet's lines. And that's
Is that because of he couldn't memorize them?
no, it's because the puppet guy used to party a lot, and he sold his, his puppet lines. Yes, it's true story.
Wow,
behind the
see,
scenes.
breaking news here on All Point Sports and Entertainment.
Yep.
Andrew Dice Clay bought his lines.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Or stole them.
We got to isolate that clip and put it out there in the world.
Or stole them.
Or stole them.
Right, he says that.
Wow.
Yeah, but hey, the ventriloquist who was Pips, his name was Otto and George. And the worst,
Oh, yeah, okay.
he was the
Okay.
ventriloquist at the time. And he was a bit of a dirty ventriloquist, but and he has passed.
Yes.
But the worst thing is, with any sort of entertainer, comedian, that we try to poke a little bit at, is that we don't forget them. Because once you forget an entertainer, they're done. That's it. But not you guys in Sioux Falls.
Why do I sense this winter we're going to have Gemini headlining in Sioux Falls?
Yeah, hope we could bring you out there, Gemini.
Don't lie,
Sioux
because you
Falls
know
or
you.
Rapid City.
No, which one's closer to you?
Rapid City.
Okay. Well, maybe we would be able to go. Bobby could come.
And Doc?
Yeah, they just built a brand new civic center, so it's opening up to all types of acts that are coming in there.
If we go there, we're going to stay at your house.
Sure,
Are you near the Buffalo Farm?
I am.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's on.
You know what? I'm having this little brainstorm in my head. We got to get a couple of the Villaroma comedians, yourself. Maybe we'll bring Chris Monty with us, right? And we'll do a little tour of,
Yeah,
we'll do a Catskill weekend in the
in the Black Hills.
Black Hills.
Black Hills, South Dakota.
You still allowed to use that word in South Dakota?
Yeah, we can use that word.
Oh my God! So it's not, American something, South Dakota?
No,
So
but it's the-
Black Hills?
It's the Black Hills National Forest, and Rapid City's located right there in the Black Hills.
Why do they call it Black Hills?
I am not sure.
Is it a bad neighborhood, like
No,
Bad Hills?
no, it's not a bad neighborhood.
Okay,
It's
I don't know.
just-
I'm asking. I don't know.
Just the National Forest.
Is it right next to, the Puerto Rican hills? No.
Boriqua Hills.
Brown hills?
No.
Yellow hills? No, you don't have. I thought maybe South Dakota, that's the way you broke up the neighborhoods.
No.
By different hills. Oh my God, don't go near the Jewish hills. Oh, he said the word. Well, that's good. That's good. So why was it the Black Hills if we were really trying to learn? Why? Is it really, dark?
I'm not sure how.
You don't know. You know all this baseball
Yeah,
stuff.
he's a Florida guy.
Yeah.
I learned last night that he lived in Florida first.
Yes.
But his wife is South Dakota in the Air Force.
Yeah.
Ah, that's right, you guys. Okay.
Yep. So being in the Air Force, and I got stationed in South Dakota, and I met my wife, and then she's from there, so we ended up moving there, and then starting our family there, and so.
When you first saw her, when did you see it? Like on a flying or something or anything?
No, it was at Fatty McGee's bar, located downtown Rapid City, South Dakota, which no longer exists, but 17 years ago.
Fatty McGee's.
Fatty McGee.
Did you walk over to her? Was she a good sports person?
Well, I did. At first, I seen her, and it was super cold, probably -10.
Oh, boy.
And she's walking down these stairs, and then I asked for a hug, and then she looked at me like, who the hell is this guy? And just kept on walking. And I was like,
Wait a
"Oh."
minute. This was your opening line. Was
Can I have a hug?
Can I have a? Were you?
I've never
were you-
tried that in all these years I've been dating and saying, can I have a hug?
Were you dressed?
I was dressed.
Like, were you dressed as Wonka? What were you dressed? Just right, like like, were you dressed in a uniform or you?
No, no.
Okay, I don't know you.
Yeah,
Okay, so all of a sudden you just went over to this woman.
Yeah, I was just
in
pretty
10
nice
degrees.
on a night out. Probably sweater on, and
Can I have a
I
hug?
asked for a hug, and she looked at me like, "Who the hell is this guy?" Checked me out, and just kept on walking.
See, in Brooklyn, we would go, "Hey, could we rub up against you?" Same thing, right?
Okay,
A little
alright.
bit, right? So she just kept walking.
She just kept walking.
And what happened?
So then a couple.
Let's see if Bobby knows. Bobby, what do you think happened? Look at this nice man.
I'm gonna think she said no in the beginning,
Yes.
right? But at least you opened the door at that point.
Right. I opened the door for multiple weekends, kept going out in a small town that eventually we kept running into each other, seeing each other.
Wait,
and
did you use the same line?
I did not use the same
It was a one-time
lie.
thing.
It was a one time.
Now we're gonna see if Adele's watching the show or watching the rewind, because later on when I see her tonight, I'm gonna ask her for a hug
Okay.
and see if she picks it up. See if she gets. I can see if she gets it.
All right, and I'll say, "Hey, can I rub on you?" And we'll see which one, which one works. Okay. Oh, okay. All right. So,
Sorry, so we plan this comedians tour of the Catskills go beat the Black Hills, right? When does the snow start out there? Because I don't want to see any snow.
When does it start? Probably. Well, honestly, I've seen it snow in every month except for June, July, and August.
really,
Yes,
just every month. So the snow gets bad there.
it does. Usually, January, February, March is the bad months for the snow.
So if I could have a hug, it's not that bad a line. Then
It's cold.
it's cold.
It's cold, right? Maybe
Right.
you're going
I'm from
around.
Florida. I was freezing.
But
You know.
those nips look very hard. let me rub you. Okay, it's good. Good line. I'm gonna try it tonight.
Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna try it tonight. Bobby, you gonna try it tonight? Okay, good.
I'm an
good.
employee of the hotel. I don't know if I can really, quasi-employee of the hotel. I don't know if I can actually do that.
All right. Okay, then it's back up to you. So after you did that, the fans would like to know. So how did it work after you saw her every time? What was the line that broke the ice?
Yes. What?
Like that one broke the ice.
Well, that's what started it. A couple weeks went by, and then I seen her across the room. Then she was kind of looking at me. I'm looking at her, and she made her way towards me. And I had an Atlanta Braves hat on with an A, and she was like, "Hey, my name."
Wait, are there other Atlanta Braves hats with other letters?
Well, I mean, if you have like
Wow, right.
the logo or Atlanta Braves, this one just had the A
Okay.
on there. And then she came up to me and she's like, "Hey, I like your hat. My name's Adele. Starts with the A. Can I wear your hat?" And
That
then-
means she was thinking about you before that. She was waiting for that line. Like she was waiting for her opening.
What did you say then? Oh,
So-
hey, my name's Frank. Can I wear your Fruit of the Loom underwear?
So I let her wear my hat, and we danced the night away. And one thing led to another, and we're
right.
here. We're still together 17 years later.
That's an awesome story. You know what I mean? It all started, ladies and gentlemen, with a hug.
So
That was denied.
So being a Florida guy, are you used to the snow yet? I mean, are you still like
I
never
am.
get used to snow?
I am. Out there, it does get pretty bad, but I got to give it to the cleaners, the road crews. Like, they make it where at least one lane is possible to make it to where you're going. And if it's absolutely crazy, they'll shut the interstate down, and then nobody, no travel advised. Nobody goes anywhere till that's lifted. So
You ever ride a buffalo?
I've never rode a buffalo, but I have been up close and personal. You could go on
Did you? Can I have a hug?
one.
I saw that in a reel on Facebook once.
Oh my
Didn't end too well.
Yes.
The woman ended up like 10 feet down.
Yes,
down
a
the
lot
road.
of people, tourists will come. They want to visit Mount Rushmore, and they see the buffalo. They get out of their car and they want to like pet the buffalo, which they're told not to do once you get there. And these Buffalo just rail them, knock them over, throw them in the air, and sometimes their clothes get hooked to the horn, and then they're trapped on the horn, and they're trying to get off it. Yeah, it's not good.
Who would want to just get? Okay, I'm going to say that people are a little. When they went cow tipping for the first time, I mean, really cow tipping, I really didn't know. I thought it was a gentleman's club. I thought we were going. I dressed all up, and I was ready to go. We went out in this mud field. And all of a sudden, these two guys that weren't comedians, but that were from the area, go and this big, nice-looking little milk cow just sitting there, and they said he was sleeping, and they run and they push the thing over. Now, I don't know how to say this, but I don't know. I thought I was going to pick him up. I don't know. I kind of went over to try to pick him up again, and the thing got up, and he thought I pushed him over.
Oh my God.
And do you know that cows do the bull thing? They put their what is it? Not the paw, with the calf, the hoof, and start he's gonna bull me, like the bulls, like you see the bulls on TV. And all of a sudden it was running. I fell in the mud, all in the mud, and the thing started running. And right above me, he went back to sleep. Do you know that cows will only run a little distance and go to sleep? Okay, don't tell me I'm telling you something about animals when you don't know this. Okay, forget it. All right, we should have kept it to buffaloes. All right, Bobby, I'm going to go take a walk over here. It's been a pleasure
Thank you so
to
much.
be on your show. The next one, I want to bring Puppet on.
We'll do a whole entertainment show with the puppet.
Yes.
That would be a fucking. I'll get him dressed up like a Met fan.
All right.
You know what I mean?
Thank you, Gemini.
Or put a buffalo hat on.
All right, that's
Thank you.
our guy Gemini, who's a frequent headliner here at the Club Forum at Villa Roma. Great job there, Gemini. Enjoy your coffee. That was wild.
Yes, definitely.
All right, so let's finish the show, John, with something we talked about for about 2 weeks now, little NBA talk. Mm-hmm. I know, we're squarely opposites, squarely enemies. You're a Knicks fan, I'm a Nets fan. Wear it on my heart right here. So let's start with you. What are your thoughts about the Knicks draft and free agency period so far?
All right, so with my New York Knicks, it's been pretty quiet on the home front. Going into the draft, we made the trade for Josh Hart. We traded a first-round pick and Cam Reddish to land back Josh Hart, which worked out. He was really helpful. He's a hustle guy, got us in the playoffs, and he puts his heart on his sleeve and played super hard. So I'm not mad at that trade, but we ended up with no draft picks in the draft. So then coming out of the draft, we signed Jacob Toppin, which is Obi Toppin's brother. So I'm thinking, okay.
Is he a big too? I don't know too much about him.
Yeah, he's out of Kentucky, and he could shoot. He could shoot better than Obi, I think. Has a little bit more floor game, could create on his own. But he went undrafted, but they brought him in, and I'm thinking, okay, that should smooth the waters between Obi and Tibbs, because they had back and forth battle, and then somebody released the audio of him going off on Tibbs after Game 4 of the Miami Heat playoff series, when Obi had a great game and then got benched in the fourth quarter. So Obi let Tibbs have it. That got released, and next thing you know, we traded Obi, who we drafted 8 overall, to the Indiana Pacers for 2 second-round picks. And then all Knicks fans are like, you tell us to hold on, be patient, and now you're just giving up on young talent that you drafted in the first round. So that was kind of tough. Their only free agent signing has been Dante DiVincenzo, which he links back up with Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart. They all won the championship at Villanova. Now they're all back together. So we'll see how that works out.
Yeah, I don't see that as. I mean, I like the player. Mm-hmm. Again, I'm not a Villanova guy being a Seton Hall guy. They're our enemies, right? Mm-hmm. But I actually liked his game. But I don't see him as a needle pusher.
And it's tough because
a lot of money.
Right, we gave him 4 years, $50 million deal, and we gave him what we had for somebody that we could bring in, which is great. But then the flip side is how is Tibbs gonna use his rotation? Because he loves playing only 8 people. people the whole game. Like, he doesn't utilize his bench well, and it is definitely tough, and it hurts losing Obi. I liked him a lot. I just wish he got a better opportunity, and now going to the Pacers, I think
Oh, he should be starting.
he'll start, and he might get most improved player.
And he's going to be at least once a week on the highlight reel
Right.
with the dunks and everything.
But,
and the logs.
now we have a log jam at guards. You have Brunson, Josh Hart, DiVincenzo, Quentin Grimes, Emmanuel Quickly, Deuce McBride. Like, where are these people going to play? And now you don't even have a backup power forward yet. So is Julius Randle going to play all 48 minutes? Like, it's crazy right now. But how's your Brooklyn Nets looking?
Well, you know what? I am one of the few, probably one of the few fans who are into what they're doing. I loved almost every move they have made. We still need a big. You know, I've said this in the beginning. We need an enforcer. We need somebody to go against Embiid and go against Giannis. Someone that's going to shut those guys down with a little force, not just try to be finesse and you know. You know, I love me some Nick Claxton, and he's one of the pieces they're going to build around. But he's not the strongest guy in the world.
Right.
Yeah, he can block shots, but he's going to outmuscle somebody for a rebound. No. More often than not, no. So we need that big guy. And I think I mentioned to you the other day, I wouldn't mind them signing Paul Rudd to an offer sheet. He's a restricted free agent. Because I noticed the times we played Philadelphia and Harden was hurt, you know, it seemed like he would go in, or if Embiid was hurt especially, he would go in and play the five. And he did very well. He was getting rebounds. He was getting points, you know, in the paint. So we need a guy like that. PJ Tucker is the guy who always gave us fits. I think he's still in Miami, right?
He was on
I forget where. Philly. So we need a guy like that. You know, but are they still out there? I don't know. I think if you look at I'm a big CBS sports guy, so I always go by what their listings are. I like reading their website a lot.
Okay.
So if you go over their top 70 free agents, I think there's still a center or two available.
Yes, the latest ranking I saw, they had Christian Wood.
Christian Wood was the highest.
Yeah.
And he's restricted he's a restricted guy as well.
Or he's unrestricted.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. Dallas didn't
Okay.
They didn't give him the restriction or whatever. He is unrestricted. And he's a big who could put the ball on the floor and shoot the three. So he could stretch the defense and shoot. I would like the Knicks to have him. I saw Bol just got waived by the Orlando Magic, and his thing is he has a lot of game, but he lacks defense. So I don't know if he's going to get picked up or not. But we'll see. Another guy is Grant Williams from the Celtics.
See what happens with him.
Yes, and he's restricted.
He's restricted, yes.
But Celtics are saying they'll match any offer unless they can get a first-round pick for him. So.
And I still, you know, again, getting back to the Nets, you know, we still got Finney Smith and or Royce O'Neal, who can fetch a first-round draft pick.
And I like Finney Smith.
Finney Smith can get two, actually.
Yeah, he's a 3-and-D guy, and that's somebody you need, you know.
So maybe a package there brings us back a big we need badly. But otherwise, if you look at the quote-unquote balance sheet, I was ecstatic when we had a $15.6 million trade exception. Now we got a $20 million trade exception. And because we're under the threshold for the salary cap, we're one of the few teams that are allowed to use their mid-level exception this year, which is 12.6. So I like what we see. We're discussing this before about Ben Simmons. I don't know. I mean, it could be the luck of the Nets that they trade Ben Simmons and he becomes a star again. But, you're not sure.
Yes, and at this point, if I'm the Nets, I'm doing whatever it takes to try to unload him.
$35 million salary, that would just do wonders.
To just try to unload him off your team and let him be somebody else's head case, or hopefully he gets it back together. If not, he's going to be out of the league in 2 years.
But then again, if he does, if they have solved his nerve and back issues, and he gets back to somewhat where he used to be, he's going to be a useful player. Right? He's a 6'10" guy who can run the point.
Right.
Or bang down low on the boards.
Yeah, that's why I can't believe like what happened to this guy, because he's leading the break, he's dropping dimes, getting assists, finishing at the rim. All he needed to work on was his outside shooting, which he was just terrified to even shoot the ball. So I don't know. If I'm the Nets, I would try to move him if I could. And then another thing back with my Knicks is Evan Fournier. I just have no clue what's going on there. He's due $18 million. They said they were going to trade him. They benched him last season. He sat there the whole year. Now he's back again for another $18 million. Like, that's somebody you got to, if you're not going to play him, move him, you know?
Yeah, NBA is very, what I'm looking for, very, they react a lot. Evan Fournier had a good postseason a couple years ago.
Right.
That translates to this big contract that he never fulfilled.
No.
And I think it's going to happen again this year. There were a lot of players this year who made big jumps in salary, you know, and, you know, there's no guarantee that they can sustain that success.
Right.
You know, in the NBA. Otherwise, you know, I like the way the Nets direction. You got to preach patience right now. I've told everybody else, I do not want Dame Lillard. As good as he is, I do not want him at this point. We've tried that already. We broke apart a nice core team that we had that was maybe one piece away to blow them up to get the big three or the big two.
Right.
It ended up being the big three because Irving's, you know, I'm not going to swear on, well, we did it already today, but you know what I'm going at with Irving. And let's just stay the course with these guys. You got rid of all the old guys, got rid of a lot of contracts. Aside from shooting, that's a concern, but stay the course. And as I mentioned before, what I've been reading, 2025 is the next big free agent class. So when that comes through to fruition in 2 years, let's see where we are. Let's see how we develop the next 2 years. Yeah, I think the Nets and the Knicks are almost on the same path right now.
Right.
Might have a few more guys with more experience, but
and then with
I think we're going to be fighting for that same, you know, 4 to 8 spot every year, next couple of years.
Right. And then even with us, like a lot of, I don't know if it's casual Knicks fans or just people getting back into it because we had a good season. They don't understand like how the money works. Once free agency started, they think we could just go out and sign everybody, but we already gave the extension to R.J. Barrett, so he's coming off his rookie deal, which he's making like $6 million, jumping up to like $27 million. So that difference is going against your cap for the new season. So you can't go out there and just get everybody. So they had the room exception. I think it was 12.8, which that's what they gave to Dante DiVincenzo, and Josh Hart, his buddy, opted in instead of opting out to get a longer deal so they could fit DiVincenzo in the mix, which was big on his part.
Yeah, and you know the new CBA is coming, and that changed the whole landscape of free agency.
Yes.
Teams are dumping players just to get under that threshold, or your teams like the Clippers are going to say, "F you, we don't care. We're going to pay, you know, whatever because we wanted a chip."
Right.
You know, there's a reason why Dame Lillard wants to go to Miami because he gets out of the Western Conference. He has an easier path to a potential.
And I think if it does come to like a multiple team trade, 3-team, 4-team trade, he ends up in Miami. Everything I've been reading is what would they have left after Dame, Jimmy, and Bam? Like,
yeah, they're going to give him a lot. They're
going to lose everything to just land him there, and that's what's going to be interesting to see.
And you already lost Vincent Strus.
Yes.
And another guy, I believe, too.
So if you give up Hero, Robinson, you know, your bench core that stepped up. I know Hero was hurt, but everybody that, you know, was a role player that stepped up and brought them to the finals knew their role, and now all those guys are gone. So it'd be interesting to see.
Yeah, I think so. That's the story of our Knicks and Nets. Any other tidbits as far as NBA that surprised you?
I know.
You know, Harden wants to go to LA.
Yes, Harden wants to be
a Clipper.
Traded now, and now he's saying the only team he wants to go to is LA Clippers. So it'll be interesting to see if that deal gets done. I know the Lakers made a bunch of key signings to fill their roster and, try to run it back and then see what happens with LeBron's son with his first year at USC. And then see if he bounces from the Lakers to go with whatever team drafts his son would be interesting. But I know the Rockets, they had a lot of money to spend because with this new CBA, you got to get to like 122 million where you have to at least spend. And they made a lot of big money with Fred VanVleet got paid, Dylan Brooks.
They have a whole new backcourt, right?
Yeah.
Dylan Brooks and him.
To mix with the young guys because they had to spend money. So we'll be interested to see. I saw Chet Holmgren. He's back healthy, playing summer league and ready to go back to OKC. So we'll see how he works out.
Speaking of Chet Holmgren, this Victor Webb. All right, I haven't pronounced it on the air yet. Wembanyama.
Yes.
Everybody was all gaga over Chet Holmgren last year. Similar size, right? Maybe a few inches shorter, same body type. He'd have lasted what? Not even a week in training camp until he was hurt. Is this guy Wembanyama? Is he better conditioned, or is he going to fall in the same trap of oversized guy who? Look. We saw it as Nets fans. You saw it with Kevin Durant, another Slim Reaper guy, right? You're playing, you trip over someone, you get tripped. You step on someone's foot, you sprain your ankle very easily as a big guy like that.
Yes, every big guy that they've listed that size has always ended up with major foot problems. And going back to him, when he was playing against Team USA, they had Kenny Lofton Jr., who now plays for Memphis Grizzlies. He got signed, and he just bullied Wemby. We'll call him Wemby.
Yeah,
we'll call him Wemby.
Yeah.
He just bullied him, backed into him, and like if you're that tall, like you wait for this guy to go up, and you should be pinning it against the glass. And he was just getting bullied by this guy. So it'll be interesting to see how. But he does have all the offensive tools to get whatever shot he wants. He can shoot the three, put the ball on the floor. So, and that's what the game's changing to. So.
And Draymond Green has already said, I'm going to go after that guy like right when on the inbounds. He's not getting past me. We're not going to let him dribble. We're not going to, he's going to be bodied. So I think the hype was so overhyped that a lot of players are going to be a little pissed off at this guy, that being so highly regarded with really proving nothing, that they're going to go out now and really prove it that is, let's show them what the real NBA is really like.
Right. And another thing I like was the Boston Celtics picking up Kristaps Porzingis, because that already.
He had a good year last year.
Yes, he had his best season.
He kind of fell off the cliff, and kind of found himself in Washington, and then all of a sudden had a great year.
Right, he had his best season of his career, and now Boston picks him up with. I know they love Marcus Smart there, but to get a stretch five on that team to go, with Brown and Tatum, that's big.
What are your thoughts of Denver repeating? They lose Bruce Brown.
Yeah, Bruce Brown left.
Bruce Brown, he was on the Nets for a couple years. He's the one guy you root for. He's made I read something yesterday. He's made I don't know, some $5 million, $7 million in his first career, and now he has generational wealth just from working hard and being a great teammate, doing whatever it takes to win. Offensively, defensively, pick and rolls, either side, whether he's the facilitator or the one getting the role. And now he's gotten paid. And he did not want to leave Denver. Right. But they were hamstrung as they are now. But they are going to return most of the team. So do you think they have a shot in the West to repeat?
Oh, definitely.
The Joker is, I'll tell you, he opened up millions of eyes this year because he was the most underrated MVP probably ever in sports.
Right, and he should have won again. He should have been a third-time MVP, and that's why that award shouldn't be announced till after the season's over.
That just motivated him to do big things.
And then with Bruce Brown, it was when he was on the Nets management wanted him back, but they came out and said Kevin Durant didn't want him back, which is crazy because they forced their way out of Brooklyn, and they forced their way out of Brooklyn and got new teams, and they didn't even want a guy back. So now he's without a contract. He signs with the Denver Nuggets, 1 year, $6 million, and he played great. You know, he plays defense, point guard, off ball, and they wanted to bring him back. I know they love him in Denver, but when you're not making that much money, and that was the highest amount of money he's ever made so far, and then free agency hits, teams are going to throw offers at you. So I think it was a 2-year, $45 million with the Pacers. So if you're Bruce Brown, you got to take that money and finally get paid, and it's well deserved because he usually tries to guard the best player on the other team. And then back with the Nuggets repeating, just their size alone, like you have Jokic, you have Jamal Murray, but the key was Aaron Gordon and Porter with their size, and they're guarding everybody's best wings. It was a big difference. And then you have Christian Braun from Kansas, won the championship, comes in there as a rookie, wins the championship, a hustle guy, and now he'll probably get a lot more playing time.
Wasn't Porter a high draft pick at one point?
He was.
Got hurt.
He was.
A couple years.
He was. He came out of Missouri, I believe, and I know that was another thing that the Knicks passed on, that Knicks fans always harp on as we pass on Michael Porter, but yeah, he was hurt. He had a couple back injuries. Now he's fully healthy and helped them. And then Reggie Jackson's actually from Denver, and he re-signed back for a 2-year deal. So, and that guy could play ball. And he's always that guy when he played for the Clippers, right? Mm-hmm. And, a couple series where he just stepped up and did bonkers, came out of nowhere, and just started playing great. Mm-hmm. Well, it should be interesting NBA season. Like I said, right now it just seems like everybody's waiting to see what happens with Dame. Yep.
That's like the next domino to fall, and then the rest of the free agency should really go from there.
Right.
But hey, we're now July 5th. Yesterday was July 4th. We're not too far away from basketball. What's big this year for us is that we have the FIBA tournament coming up. So a lot of your NBA stars from all different countries will be showcased and playing, which is cool to watch. Mm-hmm. Gives us a little early gift as far as basketball is concerned. And for me, being a big college basketball guy, I know you are as well.
Yes.
That's October. It's not that far away. Mm-hmm. Not that far. It's not going to be too far. I'm going to be in the Garden for Biggest Media Day. So. Yes. Basketball is turning like football. Basketball is turned into a year-round sport now.
Definitely.
And is it next year? Before we sign off. Is it next year, the year they're doing the in-season tournament?
They are talking about that, and I don't know if it's going to start next year or the year after. But the thing I was reading today, they're implementing that flopping rule.
Oh, yes.
During Summer League, they're testing it out. But I was a fan of, if you're flopping and you get caught, you get assessed a technical. But what I was reading more into it, that technical doesn't count as a foul or a technical. If you get 2, you get ejected. It's just there for the other team, gets the free throw and the ball.
Okay.
So, yes, you're assessed a tech, but it doesn't count against you, which I wish it would. Because if it did, you get another tech, you're ejected.
Yeah, LeBron.
Stop flopping.
I'm talking to you, flopper. So we'll see. So we'll be back. John and I will, and the rest of the crew will talk some more basketball as things go along. And next show we do, John, you're going to be back in, out in South Dakota?
Yes.
Or maybe not. We'll see. Well, you'll be traveling next week.
Yeah, or I might be live from, if I'm around maybe Tennessee area, and I could jump on and be with you again.
All right, we're going to sign off. I'm going to have to go over there and turn the monitor off over there. But for Doc and Steve and our special guest Gemini, who is one thing I like about the show, we get these comedians on, or magicians, ventriloquists, and we don't know what's going to come out of their mouth. Fred Rubino, great guy, same thing. Adds to the randomness of what we do here. Mm-hmm. They're having these guests on who are sports fans like us, but from a different ilk, so to speak. Right. What's going to come out. So That would be a pretty cool idea if it's not snowing to do a Catskills
Yeah.
meets, do a little tour of some of the comedy clubs out there.
Right.
Dan
be
and I
awesome.
will go out there. We'll with some of the guys and see what happens. Well, I'm going to sign off now. I'm going to walk over there, and then John will sign us off.
All right.
We're good.
Just want to say thank you for everybody watching from home and joining us on the live broadcast for All Point Sports. We'll see you next Wednesday. Have a good day.